of Remembrance. Transgender Day 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 of Remembrance is an annual international event established in 1999 to remember and honor those who have been murdered and died because of anti-transgender hate and prejudice. Held on and around November 20th each year, it also helps increase public awareness about violence and discrimination against transgender and gender non-conforming people. Circle Sanctuary is among the many spiritual communities and other groups holding ceremonies across the nation and around the world to mark Transgender Day of Remembrance.
Transgender Day of Remembrance, el Día del Recuerdo de las Personas Transgénero, es un evento internacional anual establecido en 1999 para recordar y honrar a aquellos que han sido asesinados debido al odio y prejuicio antitransgénero. Se lleva a cabo el 20 de noviembre de cada año o alrededor de esta fecha, y también ayuda a aumentar la conciencia pública sobre la violencia y la discriminación contra las personas transgénero y género no conformes. Circle Sanctuary se encuentra entre las muchas comunidades espirituales y otros grupos que celebran ceremonias en todo el país y en todo el mundo para conmemorar el Día del Recuerdo de las Personas Transgénero.
This year, we again are holding our annual ceremony online and live streaming it to our Circle Sanctuary YouTube channel. Thanks to those assisting with this year's event. Brianne, Ravenwolf of New York for co-facilitation, Reverend Laura Gonzalez of Chicago for Spanish language translation and tech operations, and Reverend Jake Bradley of Chicago for allyship reflections.
Este año nuevamente estamos llevando a cabo nuestra ceremonia anual en línea y transmitiéndola en vivo a nuestro canal de YouTube de Circle Sanctuary. Gracias a quienes ayudaron al evento de este año, Brianne Ravenwolf de Nueva York por la cofacilitación, su servidora Laura González de Chicago por la traducción al español y las operaciones técnicas, y Reverend Jake Bradley de Chicago por sus reflexiones acerca de la alianza.
The Transgender Day of Remembrance, TDOR, is an annual observance on November 20th of each year that honors the memory of those whose lives were lost in acts of anti-transgender violence. To remember this day until we all get accepted for being just us, human beings. I've been involved in trans activism since roughly 2015. That's when I came out officially to the world community. And about that time, I was also an admin and very active in trans violence news on Facebook. That was basically started by Mikael and Orzek. And until I got off of Facebook about 6 or 8 months ago, I was just getting totally burned out like Mika was too. But I'm still active, and I've been very blessed to have helped participate in person and also online with Circle Sanctuary's Transgender Day of Remembrance ever since 2016. And of course, this is the third year online now. So I do believe that we all need to remember.
El Día del Recuerdo de las Personas Transgénero, TDOR, es una observación anual el 20 de noviembre de cada año que honra la memoria de aquellos cuyas vidas se perdieron en actos de violencia contra las personas transgénero, para recordar hasta que todos seamos aceptados por ser nosotros seres humanos, parte de la humanidad.
What is the Transgender Day of Remembrance? I'm quoting this from Wikipedia. The Transgender Day of Remembrance, TDOR, was started in 1999 by transgender advocate Gwendolyn Ann Smith as a vigil to honor the memory of Rita Hester, a transgender woman who was killed in 1998. The vigil commemorates all the transgender people lost to violence since Rita Hester's death, and became an important tradition that has become the annual Transgender Day of Remembrance.
¿Qué es el Día del Recuerdo de las Personas Transgénero? La cita de Wikipedia dice, el Día del Recuerdo de las Personas Transgénero, TDOR, fue iniciado en 1999 por la defensora de las personas transgénero, Gwendolyn Ann Smith, como una vigilia para honrar la memoria de Rita Hester, una mujer transgénero que fue asesinada en 1998. La vigilia conmemora a todas las personas transgénero perdidas a causa de la violencia desde la muerte de Rita Hester y comenzó una importante tradición que se ha convertido en el Día del Recuerdo Transgénero anual.
This year is the 23rd anniversary of TDOR.
Este es el 23 aniversario de TDOR.
The Transgender Day of Remembrance seeks to highlight the losses we face due to anti-transgender bigotry and violence. I am no stranger to the need to fight for our rights. The right to simply exist is first and foremost. With so many seeking to erase transgender people, sometimes in the most brutal ways possible, it is vitally important that those we lose are remembered and that we continue to fight for justice. Those words are from the Transgender Day of Remembrance founder, Gwendolyn Ann Smith.
El Día del Recuerdo de las Personas Transgénero busca resaltar las pérdidas que enfrentamos debido a la intolerancia y la violencia contra las personas transgénero. No soy ajena a la necesidad de la lucha por nuestros derechos y el derecho a simplemente existir es lo primero y más importante. Con tantas personas que buscan borrar a las personas transgénero, a veces de la manera más brutal posible, es de vital importancia que se recuerde a aquellos que perdemos y que continuemos luchando por la justicia. Palabras de la fundadora de Transgender Day of Remembrance, Gwendolyn Ann Smith.
The data is collected from the first day of October each year to the last day of September each year. That way the data is accurate for the vigil on November 20th of each year.
Los datos se recopilan desde el primer día de octubre y hasta el último día de septiembre de cada año. De esa manera los datos son precisos para la vigilia del 20 de noviembre de cada año.
We gather here today, the Transgender Day of Remembrance. We join together in remembering the dead, supporting the living, and transforming the world.
Nos reunimos aquí hoy, el Día del Recuerdo de las Personas Transgénero. Nos unimos para recordar a los muertos, apoyar a los vivos y transformar al mundo.
Welcome to all who are joining us in person, all who are joining us via live streaming, and all who are joining us when viewing this later.
Bienvenidas a todas las personas que se reúnen con nosotros en persona, todos los que se reúnen con nosotros a través de la transmisión en vivo y todas las personas que se reunirán con nosotros cuando lo vean más tarde en diferido.
Let us now spend a few moments of silence, connecting with the divine, with inner wisdom, with reason, and/or other forms of creative source, according to our own philosophy, spirituality, worldview, and/or religious tradition.
Pasemos ahora a unos momentos de silencio, conectándonos con la divinidad, con la sabiduría interior, con la razón y o con otras formas de la fuente creativa según nuestra propia filosofía, espiritualidad, cosmovisión y o tradición religiosa.
Divine as one, divine as many, divine as eternal source and creative force. We call to you and honor you. Be with us, be within us, guide us in our ceremony today and always. So be it.
Divinidad como una, divinidad como muchas, divinidad como fuente eterna y fuente creativa. Te llamamos y te honramos, está con nosotros, está dentro de nosotros y guíanos en nuestra ceremonia hoy y siempre.
We kindle the light of solidarity, connecting with and supporting all who are observing Transgender Day of Remembrance 2021.
Encendemos la luz de la solidaridad, conectando y apoyando a quienes están observando el Día del Recuerdo Transgénero del 2021.
We kindle the light of transgender living, sending protection, courage, and support.
Encendemos la luz de las vidas transgénero, enviando protección, valor y apoyo.
We kindle the light of the loved ones of the transgender dead, sending healing, comfort, and support.
Encendemos la luz de los seres queridos de las personas transgénero fallecidas, enviando sanación, consuelo y apoyo.
We kindle the light of transgender rights activists, sending strength, safety, and support.
Encendemos la luz de las personas que son activistas por los derechos de las personas transgénero, enviando fuerza, seguridad y apoyo.
We kindle the global candle of remembrance and speak the names of each nation where killings of transgender people have been reported in the past year.
Encendemos la vela global del recuerdo y enunciamos los nombres de cada nación donde se reportan asesinatos de personas transgénero en el último año.
Argentina, 17.
Australia, 2.
Azerbaijan, 1.
Belgium, 1.
Bolivia, 3.
Brazil, 143.
Canada, 1.
Chile, 4.
Colombia, 27.
Costa Rica, 1.
Ecuador, 7.
El Salvador, 4.
France, 7.
Germany, 1.
Greece, 1.
Guatemala, 2.
Haiti, 1.
Honduras, 5.
India, 10.
Italy, 5.
Japan, 1.
Malawi, 1.
Mexico, 59.
Netherlands, 1.
Nicaragua, 1.
Pakistan, 8.
Peru, 5.
Philippines, 3.
Portugal, 1.
Russia, 2.
South Korea, 1.
Spain, 1.
Turkey, 4.
United Kingdom, 5.
Uruguay, 1.
Venezuela, 3.
We also remember transgender dead for all countries and places where killings and deaths of transgender people have occurred but have not been reported.
También recordamos a las personas transgénero muertas en todos los países y lugares donde han ocurrido asesinatos, pero no han sido reportados.
We speak the names of each transgender person reported killed in the United States of America in the past year.
Mencionamos los nombres de cada persona transgénero reportada asesinada en los Estados Unidos de América el año pasado.
Felicia Harris, 33, died in Augusta, Georgia.
Brooklyn Deshauna Smith, 20, died in Louisiana.
Sarah Blackwood, 29, died in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Angel Haynes, also known as Angel Unique, 25, died in Whitehaven, Memphis, Tennessee.
Skylar Hath, 20, died in Liberty City, Miami, Florida.
Fendi Moneza Armstrong, known as Peaches, age 39, died in Lithonia, Georgia.
Uniski Carey Herrera, also known as Uni, 34, died in Miami, Florida.
Aisha Janae Foster, 22, died in Houston, Texas.
Kimberly Susan Fial, 55, died in San Jose, California.
Che Mashia Sims, also known as Che Che, 30, died in Richmond, Virginia.
Malia Monet Mulan, no age given, died in Baltimore, Maryland.
Courtney Eshe Key, age 25, died in Chicago, Illinois.
Alexandria Winchester, 24, died in the Bronx, New York.
Kimberly Patricia Cup, known as Kim, 40, died in Athens, Georgia.
Bonaire Black, Bonnie, age 18, died in Atlanta, Georgia.
Diana Deveria Alexander, 28, died in Chicago, Illinois.
Samuel Edmund Damian Valentin, no age given, died in Trujillo, Puerto Rico.
Natasha Kiana, 37, died in Detroit, Michigan.
Bianca Banks, known as Muffin, no age given, died in Atlanta, Georgia.
Dominique Jackson, 30, died in Jackson, Mississippi.
Sandy Crisp, Goddess Bunny, age 61, died in Los Angeles, California.
50 Bands, age 21, died in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Alexis Braxton, known as Kimi Icon Braxton, 45, died in Miami, Florida.
Alexander Blake Van Dalsen, 21, died in Lafayette, Indiana.
Cinda Carrillo, 24, died in New Wilmington, Pennsylvania.
Jeffrey Bright, JJ, 16, died in Ambridge, Pennsylvania.
Jasmine Bright, Jazzy, 22, died in Ambridge, Pennsylvania.
Jenna Franks, 34, died in Jacksonville, North Carolina.
Kimberly Wirtz, known as Toba, age unknown, died in Baltimore, Maryland.
Diamond Kyrie Sanders, also known as Diamond Nicole, 23, died in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Rihanna Pardo, age 26, died in Los Angeles, California.
Idleen Evans, 24, died in Port Arthur, Texas.
Piper Autumn Rivers, also known as Tegan Toxic or Tegan Last, age 35, died in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Kim Ramirez, aged between 20 and 25, died in New York City, New York.
Chris Brandon Reese, 26, died in Lompoc, California.
Jada Peterson, 24, died in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Dominique Lucius, 26, died in Springfield, Missouri.
Remy Fennell, 28, died in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Tiara Banks, 24, died in Chicago, Illinois.
Natalia Smoot Lopez, 24, died in San Jose, California.
Iris Santos, 22, died in Houston, Texas.
Tiffany Thomas, 38, died in Dallas, Texas.
Kerry Washington, also known as Boo Boo, 49, died in Clearwater, Florida.
T. Harding, 35, died in York, South Carolina.
Jahaira De Alto Balenciaga, age 42, died in Boston, Massachusetts.
Whispering Wind Bear Spirit, age 42, died in York, Pennsylvania.
Sophie Vasquez, 36, died in Brookhaven, Georgia.
Danny Henson, age 31, died in Baltimore, Maryland.
Serenity Hollis, age 24, died in Albany, Georgia.
Danielle Bocci, Danny, Mistress Velvet, 33, died in Chicago, Illinois.
Mona Moselle Connor, age 32, died in Washington, D.C.
Giselle Hartogs, also known as Giselle Hilton, age 30, died in Washington, D.C.
Oliver Taylor, known as Oli, 17, died in Gervais, Oregon.
Haven A. Bailey, age 25, died in Villa Park, Illinois.
Poe Black, also known as Oliver Jackson, and also known as Legion Tommy, 21, died in Slab City, California.
Casey Wilson, no age given, died in Washington, D.C.
Dee Dee Thomas, age 42, died in New York, New York.
Kiera Marie Lewis, age 36, died in Cleveland, Ohio.
Nova Ruth Watson, known as E.J. Boykin, 23, died in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Ruby Dominguez, age 29, died in Arlington, Texas.
Taya Ashton, age 20, died in Suitland, Maryland.
Shay Vanderpump, 23, died in Trenton, New Jersey.
Coco Chanel Wortham, age 44, died in Dallas, Texas.
Pooh Johnson, also known as Titanizer Moa, 25, died in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Claire Montserrat Jackson, 45, died in Troy, Ohio.
Zoella Rose Martinez, known as Zoe, age 20, died in Seattle, Washington.
Desea Monet Smith, age 23, died in Dalton, Illinois.
Brianna Ulmer, Brianna Hamilton, 25, died in Chicago, Illinois.
Kier Laprie Cartier, age 21, died in Arlington, Texas.
We also remember the unknown transgender dead. In places in the United States where killings and deaths of transgender people have occurred, but have not been reported, including those who have been misnamed and or misgendered.
También recordamos a las personas transgénero desconocidas muertas en lugares de los Estados Unidos, donde se han producido asesinatos y muertes de personas transgénero, pero no se han reportado, incluidas aquellas personas que han recibido nombres erróneos o género erróneo.
We sound this bell in remembrance for all transgender dead.
Hacemos sonar esta campana en recuerdo de todas las personas transgénero muertas.
Transgender dead, named and unnamed, we call to you. We remember you, and we release you from traumas you experienced in life and life's end, in your life now past.
Personas transgénero fallecidas con nombre y sin nombre. Les llamamos y les recordamos y les liberamos de los traumas que experimentaron en la vida y del final de su vida ahora pasada.
By the powers of the sacred earth, we bless your body and release your spirit from the physical realm of your life now past. Hail and farewell.
Por los poderes de la tierra sagrada, bendecimos su cuerpo y liberamos su espíritu del reino físico de su vida ahora pasada. Hasta pronto.
By the powers of the sacred air, we bless your mind and release your spirit from the mental realm of your life now past.
Por los poderes del
Hail
aire,
and farewell.
por los poderes del aire sagrado, bendecimos su mente y libramos su espíritu del reino mental de su vida ahora pasada. Hasta pronto.
By the powers of the sacred fire, we bless your will and release your spirit from the energetic realm of your life now past. Hail and farewell.
Por los poderes del fuego sagrado, bendecimos su voluntad y libramos su espíritu del reino energético de su vida ahora pasada. Hasta pronto.
By the powers of the sacred water, we bless your feelings and release your spirit from the emotional realm of your life now past. Hail and farewell.
Por los poderes del agua sagrada, bendecimos sus sentimientos y liberamos su espíritu del reino emocional de su vida ahora pasada. Hasta pronto.
By the powers of the sacred spirit, we bless your soul and support your spirit as it journeys in the hereafter. Hail and farewell.
Por los poderes del Espíritu Sagrado, bendecimos su alma y apoyamos su espíritu mientras viaja al más allá. Hasta pronto.
Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Let us now join together in sending healing support to all impacted by these deaths.
Unámonos ahora para enviar apoyo a todos los afectados por estas muertes.
Loved ones of each who died.
A los seres queridos de cada persona fallecida.
Those who have compiled the reports.
A quienes elaboraron los informes.
Transgender people who have been attacked but survived.
Personas transgénero que han sido atacadas pero sobrevivieron.
Communities and places where deaths have occurred.
Comunidades y lugares donde se han producido las muertes.
Transgender people everywhere.
Personas transgénero en todas partes.
Transgender rights activists.
Activistas por los derechos de las personas transgénero.
Humankind.
A toda la humanidad.
The great circle of nature of which we are all part.
Círculo de la naturaleza del que todos formamos parte.
More than 70% of hate homicides each year in the US are of transgender women, and transgender women of color in this country experience more hate murders every year than all other groups combined. But we usually don't hear anything about this.
Más del 70% de los homicidios por odio que ocurren cada año en Estados Unidos son mujeres transgénero y las muertes de trans, gente de color. En este país se experimentan más asesinatos por odio cada año que todos los demás grupos combinados, pero generalmente no escuchamos nada sobre esto.
Most trans people can't count on help from police, and trans people of color are 6 times more likely to experience police violence.
La mayoría de las personas trans no pueden contar con la ayuda de la policía y las personas trans de color tienen 6 veces más posibilidades de sufrir violencia policíaca.
Trans people are almost twice as likely to experience sexual violence, and 64% have experienced sexual assault in their lifetime.
Las personas trans tienen casi el doble de probabilidades de sufrir violencia sexual y el 64% han sufrido agresión sexual en su vida.
Trans and gender nonconforming people experience eviction, housing discrimination, and homelessness at disproportionate rates, and often are not welcome or safe at shelters or other programs.
Las personas trans y género no conformes experimentan desalojos, discriminación en la vivienda y falta de vivienda a tasas desproporcionadas y, a menudo, no son bienvenidas ni seguras en albergues u otros programas.
47% of Black trans people have experienced incarceration, compared to 1.4% of white cisgender people.
47% de las personas trans negras han experimentado encarcelamiento, en comparación con el 1,4% de las personas cisgénero blancas.
77% of trans people have seriously considered, and 41% have attempted suicide, compared to 1.6% of the wider population.
El 77% de las personas trans lo han considerado seriamente y el 41% ha intentado suicidarse, en comparación con el 1,6% de la población general.
trans employees can legally be fired from their jobs in 31 states just because of their gender identity or expression at the whim of their employer. And 90% of trans and gender nonconforming people have experienced transphobic harassment on the job.
Los empleados trans pueden ser legalmente despedidos de sus trabajos en 31 estados solo por su identidad o expresión de género. Y el 90% de las personas trans y género no conformes han experimentado acoso transfóbico en el trabajo.
Most transgender and gender nonconforming kids have experienced harassment and assault at school, and only about half of teachers make an effort to halt bullying and hate activity that's directed towards trans kids in the classroom.
La mayoría de los niños trans y género no conformes han experimentado acoso y agresión en la escuela, y solo aproximadamente la mitad de los maestros hacen un esfuerzo por detener la intimidación y la actividad de odio dirigida hacia los niños trans en las aulas.
1/3 of trans kids and youth have attempted suicide, 1/3. But the good news is that this suicide rate drops 93% for those with strongly supportive parents.
1/3 de los niños y jóvenes trans han intentado suicidarse, pero la buena noticia es que esta tasa de suicidio cae un 93% para aquellos con padres que los apoyan fuertemente.
Supportive family is the biggest predictor of physical and mental health for trans and gender nonconforming kids and youth, and trans folks of all ages benefit greatly from supportive family and community.
La familia solidaria es el mayor factor de predicción de la salud física y mental de los niños y jóvenes trans y género no conformes, y las personas trans de todas las edades se benefician enormemente del apoyo familiar y comunitario.
So we can all make a huge difference in the lives of trans and gender queer people by helping them find and build family or chosen family and community connections.
Así que todos podemos hacer una gran diferencia en la vida de las personas trans y género no conforme y género queer, ayudándoles a encontrar y construir familias o familias elegidas y conexiones comunitarias.
And by advocating that schools have robust anti-bullying campaigns and all schools have gay-straight alliances.
Al defender que las escuelas tengan campañas sólidas contra el acoso y alianzas entre homosexuales y heterosexuales.
And that all young people have age-appropriate sex and relationship education that includes all bodies and identities.
Y que los jóvenes tengan una educación sexual y relacional apropiada para su edad, que incluya todos los cuerpos e identidades.
We can show allyship for trans and gender nonconforming people by always using the name and pronouns someone has chosen.
Podemos mostrar ser aliados de las personas trans y género no conformes usando siempre el nombre y los pronombres que ellos han elegido.
And by decreasing gender segregated activities.
Y disminuyendo actividades separadas por género.
By sticking up for trans people in gendered spaces that are particularly vulnerable, like bathrooms.
Defendiendo a las personas trans en espacios de género que son particularmente vulnerables, como en los baños.
By not making assumptions or asking intrusive questions about someone's body or medical business.
No haciendo suposiciones ni preguntas intrusivas sobre el cuerpo de alguien o sus asuntos médicos.
By not allowing any policing or critique of people's gender expression.
No permitiendo la vigilancia o la crítica de las expresiones de género de las personas.
And never allowing homophobic or transphobic bullying or hate speech anywhere we are, no matter whether we think a trans person is present or not.
Y nunca permitir el acoso homofóbico o transfóbico o el discurso de odio en cualquier lugar que estemos, sin importar si creemos que hay o no una persona trans presente.
We can all be a part of building a world where fewer trans people's lives are cut short by violence and death.
Todos, todas, todes, podemos ser parte de la construcción de un mundo donde haya menos vidas de personas trans truncadas por la violencia y la muerte.
We can all work together to make a world where we all fit in and are all safe and respected. Blessed be.
Todos, todas, todes, podemos trabajar juntos para hacer un mundo en el que todos encajemos y todos estemos seguros y respetados. Bendiciones.
Let us now envision our nation, the USA, transforming and then transformed into a place where transgender people live safely, harmoniously, freely in society with equality, justice, and liberty.
Imaginemos ahora nuestra nación, los Estados Unidos, transformándose y luego transformada en un lugar donde las personas transgénero viven de manera segura, armoniosa y libre en la sociedad con igualdad, justicia y libertad.
Transformation. Let us now envision planet Earth, our home, transforming and then transformed to be a place where transgender people live safely, harmoniously, freely, the world over and beyond, with equality, justice, and liberty.
Imaginemos ahora el planeta Tierra, nuestro hogar, transformándose y luego transformada para ser un lugar donde las personas transgénero vivan de manera segura, armoniosa y libre en todo el mundo y más allá con igualdad, justicia y libertad.
Transformation. Let us now reflect on ways we can be part of the positive transformations we envisioned emerging in this nation and around the world.
Reflexionemos ahora sobre formas en las que podemos ser parte de la transformación positiva que imaginamos surgir en esta nación y en todo el mundo.
Transformation. Let us imagine ourselves joined together in solidarity with each other and with all joining in on this Transgender Day of Remembrance.
Imaginémonos a todas las personas unidas en solidaridad unas con otras y todas uniéndonos en este día del recuerdo de las personas transgénero.
Transformation. As we conclude this rite, let us speak 3 times in our own language. Remembering the dead, supporting the living, transforming the world. Remembering the dead, supporting the living, transforming the world. Remembering the dead, supporting the living, transforming the world.
Concluyendo este ritual, digamos 3 veces en nuestro propio idioma, recordando a los muertos, apoyando a los vivos y transformando el mundo. Recordando a los muertos, apoyando a los vivos y transformando el mundo. Recordando a los muertos, apoyando a los vivos y transformando el mundo.
Remembering the dead, supporting the living, transforming the world. Remembering the dead, supporting the living, transforming the world. Remembering the dead, spread, supporting the living, transforming the world. We give thanks to the divine as one and as many, to the earth, the air, the fire, the water, and spirit, to all who have joined in this rite, watching live and later.
Damos gracias a la divinidad como una y como muchas, a la tierra, el aire, el fuego, el agua y el espíritu, a quienes se han sumado a nuestro rito en vivo o viéndolo posteriormente.
May our experiences of joining together in solidarity today guide us in our lives and activism now and in times to come. So be it.
Que nuestras expresiones de reunirnos en solidaridad hoy nos guíen en nuestra vida y activismo ahora y en el futuro. Que así sea. For information on membership and donations, visit circlesanctuary.org. You can also find us on social media, Circle Sanctuary Network Podcast, CSNP, blogtalkradio.com, CSNP, facebook.com, CSN Podcast, Circle Sanctuary Online, circlesanctuary.org, social media, youtube.com/user/Circle Sanctuary. Blessed be.